Hey everyone, of course, welcome to the next edition of Forum Bites. Now, as you know, in this COVID world, things change quickly and they change often, and today is no different. Today on a live cross, EO has actually launched this brand new brand. It's now launched a brand new section of their website to launch that brand. They've started mapping out what the future looks like for all of us. The Forum Bites studio has changed as well. And in today's video, we're here to talk about what those changes are and why it's important to your EO journey. So some of you may have already watched the live cross on both Facebook and Zoom earlier on this morning or tonight, depending on where you are on the planet. Now, if you haven't actually seen that live cross, what I'll do is I'll leave the link in the actual description box for the Facebook link so you can go watch it there, and I would highly recommend watching it. Because what they do is they go through what the brand is, why the brand, and where we're actually going as an organization. They also share some of the learning events as well as some EO stories from members about their own journey and how they've used their membership to help succeed in both life, community, family, and in business. Now, the one thing is I do love the brand new logo. I love its color, I love its font, I love everything it represents. And you can like or dislike the logo, that's up to you. But what I see more in a logo is what it represents more than just what it looks like. They were speaking on the actual cross about how the circles can represent the journey, of the EO member, from their forum to leadership. It can represent many different things. And when I look at the logo, it represented to me, for example, like the rings around the center spot. The center spot could be a member who's actually surrounded by their forum, who's also surrounded by their chapter, who's also surrounded by their region, who's also surrounded by the globe. All of them working together to make sure that we have value for the member and also for everyone else involved. I can also see it as like during an actual experience share, or when you drop a stone into a pond and those rings actually extend out. And those rings that represent how your experience share could actually extend past your forum into the chapter and help lives around the globe that you never thought possible. I've seen it happen often. Because the value in this organization is far more than just a meeting every month, or far more than just business learnings. It's the connections to human beings that we can make, sometimes even when we don't know we're doing it. It was also great to see some of the actual focus on the member value. In other words, looking at member value, delivering the learnings and the member experience that the members need right now, looking outside of EO to find out how we're going to do that. And some of the virtual learnings that they've put on is an example of those. And they went through a couple of those items, like, for example, Dan DePanny that's coming up. And he's an outstanding person. So I actually saw him for the first time when he did his very first presentation here in Perth, and he's still the only guy or girl I've ever actually turned my phone off for at a learning event. Normally I turn it off, onto silent or vibrate, something like that, but I turned it off because what he was sharing with me was so valuable, and I still use some of his teachings today. Also, of course, they went through some of the summer learning program, the virtual learning program, which I've actually signed up for. I've signed up for the actual innovation section. I was trying to get into the health, but I don't think I can fit both in. But it looks like an outstanding program you can get involved with. As well as, of course, they covered off another one of the learning events, which is a game night with the family. So in other words, you're playing games with families all around the planet, which is awesome to see. Plus also just adding value to the whole family, not just the EO member. Now, of course, obviously, there is going to be changes. The changes on the website have already happened, which actually look outstanding. Finding items on there is a little bit easier, as well as, of course, everything is just put together to represent what EO actually means, which means a lot to me, because then when I talk about EO to people who aren't EO members, they can go there and find out exactly what it's about, what it feels like, and what we're about as a community, which is awesome, especially in this time of the unknown. Now, of course, obviously, I'd love to know your own thoughts on the logo, as well as your own story about what you'd be able to do. I know that EO has asked us to share some stories with them. What I'll do as well is I'll leave that link below as well. If you do have a story to share with EO, please do so. It's always great to see and hear and listen to your own stories of your positive journey, and it really does help the community know the value and sometimes learn things that they didn't think possible. Now, as you can see here, the Forum Byte studio has changed. I've got headphones on. Everything's going to be changing here, primarily because our budget is a little bit limited, and I've got some challenges at work that I'm facing, so I've had to find a different way of doing it, like a lot of us have, all in business in this time of change. So what we're doing is we're having a look at a podcast model, looking at video model. We're looking at anything really primarily to continue to add value to your forum experience. That's it. It'll just be done in a couple of different ways, and obviously, as you can tell, in some different locations. Now, as always, anyone's got any questions whatsoever, you know what to do. Leave them in the comments below. If you haven't subscribed already, just hit that subscribe button now. And as always, I'll see you very soon in the next episode.